I've been asked whether I'm going to finish some of the maps that I started working on like 2 years back during the lockdowns when I had a lot of time and nothing else to really do. That's when I made Ancient Memes and Game Stonks, which may not be the best map, but it was still fun at the time. Well, I think by the time I'd actually made it good, like a lot of servers had taken it off the rotation, but it's actually not that bad now. But anyway, the point of this video is I don't really play Team Fortress 2 as much as I used to. I think people are aware of that because, well, I am kind of getting older and it's just not like I've had my fun on it, and I think Team Fortress 2 is still the best multiplayer game ever created. And I was worried it was going to start dying, but I think it's actually still got quite a few years of life left in it, because a lot of the newer games, they're just not made like they used to be. So a lot of younger people are discovering Team Fortress 2 and realizing just how fun it really is. And while they did update it this summer, it wasn't as big as they said it would be. Like, when Valve says something's gonna happen, it's never gonna be as good as they say it is, if it even happens at all. But like, at least something happened, but it could have been a bit better. But anyway, I think that has given it a bit more life. At least people know that there's still someone working on it. Now, as for my maps, I'm going to show you guys some of the, well, there's only really two maps in the works that, well, they were started, so like 2 years ago. It's coming up to like nearly 3 years now, but they were started, and then, you know, I didn't really know where it was really going. However, I do think I have an idea on where to go with them now, so we'll see. I don't want to make any guarantees, but where is it? Let me show you Blockbuster. See, I might be able to get some inspiration if I show you guys. Yes, you did see DR Coronavirus, but I think that's never actually going to happen. But you see this. This is Blockbuster. Now, I started it because nostalgia was the big thing at the time. It still is, I think. And I actually made a bunch of custom textures for this. And see, I did this this brushwork here and put an overlay over it. And you got this here. Of course, it could still change, but I think this design's quite close. That there was a Blockbuster store. This is based on a real picture I saw of a Blockbuster store. Now, if we go in, see, the idea is the death run, you go in here, and you got like a bunch of movie-related traps. See, I actually did quite a few. I got around here. The idea is you've got, well, I think the idea was you had yeah, this is sci-fi. What was this one supposed to be? Oh, I see. Yeah, that teleports somewhere. Yeah, you've got Darth Vader here. I did have a list of like each aisle was going to be its own genre or genre. and hail goes up here, or death if the server doesn't use versus Extant Hail. And you see, these are the buttons. Now, I'm not a fan of top-down death runs, but it's the only way I could see it working in this situation. So we've already got there's 16 here, potentially 20 by the time you get here. But I kind of stopped working on it because I wasn't sure if this would really work, because it's like you just go in, although it's like novel, you just go round here. So I wasn't sure where to really go with it. I did think like maybe I could have kind of like a basement area, which that's probably where it's going to end, and that'd be where the options are. But it's not like there's really any obby here. Maybe I could put one down there, but it's just kind of, each trap is just, you go in, funny picture appears, funny sound. That's kind of what it is, and that's kind of why I just thought, should I bother finishing this? I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I'll finish it just so it's done and so it exists. Hey, maybe I can make up for it with some really good mini games, kind of like I did with Game Stonks. See, Game Stonks is what actually got made instead of this. I was making this around the same time, but then Game Stonks kind of worked better as a death run. So, yeah. Maybe I'll finish this one day. I don't want to guarantee anything, but if you're watching this, if you think this is a good idea, then let me know. Because any inspiration kind of helps. Because I'm at the point where I've just kind of had enough. But I feel it's wrong to leave like something that's had such a decent amount of effort put into it already unfinished. And yes, I'm aware that Blockbusters didn't really have conveyor belts on the checkouts, but I can just change that. Oh yeah, one other thing. These shelves, I was going to... See, this is where the time-consuming part comes in, which is why I wasn't sure whether to finish it. I was going to put like DVD cases, or well, VHS cases, on all the shelves related to whatever the trap is going to be. You can see these gaps in the shelves, these mark where the traps are. And yeah, so I could put what was I saying? I could put yeah, so I was going to put the VHS covers on all the shelves, and that is a very time-consuming process, which is another reason why I kind of stopped, because I thought, if it's not going to be like, if people think this is a bit pants, but hey, as I said, I might just finish it anyway, even if it's not that great as a death run map. I can go kind of down the more nostalgia route, where the experience is more than just the death run. It's more of a nostalgia fest as well. Could have some good background music, and again, I could have some decent mini games, stuff like that. We'll see. Now, next map, DR Raiders. Now, this was being made as a kind of sequel to Ancient Means, but I was kind of trying to make it better than just a pyramid with corridors. Now, of course, the skybox and this terrain will all be done a bit better if I get it to a more complete state, complete and playable state. Put it this way, I think this is more of a chance of being finished than Blockbuster. And you can see where I've worked on it. The idea is, instead of a pyramid, it's a kind of Mayan temple in the middle of the jungle. Yeah, this probably looks nothing like one, but I'm not really sure, like, how to really do it. I mean, I think it probably looks close enough, doesn't it? So similar to ancient memes, hail or death starts up here, he goes down, and here's the traps. Reds, they'll start somewhere around here. The area that you can walk around probably won't be as big as ancient memes, not like where you can go around the pyramid. It'll probably just be around here. Like, this bit will probably be off limits. There might be some more detail around here, we'll see. So reds start here, they go down, and the idea is you've got 3 kind of vanilla traps to begin with. So you've got arrows here. I don't know if this will cause any crashes. There's like 100 arrows that will all spawn at once. But I've tested it, it's fine, but it's whether it works on a full server. But I guess we'll figure that one out. So the idea is you go in, there's 3 normal traps. This is just like a crushing wall trap. So this is a bit more interesting than Blockbuster. Now you come in here, and you pick up the golden idol, which is actually just the golden saxi. Yes, it looks like a flag here, but in-game it will look like the golden saxi, and if you pick it up, you'll have that on your back. You pick that up, and that's what opens the next area here. And I don't know what else I'll do with this. I was thinking, like, if you get it to the end, it could trigger something. I thought of maybe doing a kind of respawn coin system, but then I think they kind of suck, because it's better if everybody just respawns anyway. What I could do, though, is maybe make it unlock a special minigame that can only be played if it gets to the end. And in here, see, I could have a normal trap, or I might have a meme trap here. The idea is you got to get past the normal traps. You got to go down, further down into the temple to find the meme traps. See, this is called DR Raiders, but its actual name is supposed to be Raiders of the Lost Memes. However, that name is really long, and the name alone just about fits the maximum character length for file names, but then I couldn't have a version number after it, so it's so long, because it'd be so long. So I've just shortened it to Raiders, which is fine, because there's not another Raiders map. Now this is where it gets interesting, and this is why I've had people ask me whether I'm going to finish it, because I've decided to put a bit more emphasis on obbies, because that seems to be the thing at the moment. Well, it was when I was working on it, but I just never really bothered to finish it. So you got this boulder here, and this just comes down automatically, like every 10 seconds or something. Actually, I'll tell you here. Yes, every 10 seconds, a new boulder will spawn and come and roll down here. So everybody coming out here has to run down. They have to time it right, because if you're like a heavy, and I've tested it, it is doable even as a heavy, but you've got to time it right, because you've got to go down here. So literally, as soon as this boulder comes down, you want to start running. And you get down here, and then you turn left here. And here, this room is the obby room. Where's the water gone? So you go around here, and this is, you know, it's trickier than it looks. You'll be surprised how many people will fall off of this. You go under here, and you get up here, and then these are when the real meme traps start. And this is kind of where I got stuck, because I had this corridor going a bit longer than this. It was kind of going like up to here, and then I thought it's a bit boring, so I've kind of condensed it a bit, put a bit more detail. There were going to be 4 traps, because there was going to be 1 here, but I decided actually this should probably just be a nice safe area. And then you'll have 3 traps here, and this area I'd put on the end, and I think it's too nice to sort of change, so I'm going to leave that there. And it might go into another obby section, I haven't really decided. But yeah, that's as far as it goes. This is also the first map where I've really kind of gone all out with the detail. See, I've got these displacements here. I need to fix that. I've got these displacements here, which kind of give it a more natural look on some of these parts and in the tunnels. This is Hale's area. He runs across. See, you'll be able to go across here, and you can look down, but you'll be able to get around before anyone else reaches the entrance, and you'll be ready for them when they come. So I think that makes it a bit more interesting than just teleporting. And then we've got this bit here, go in here, and then you arrive here. I might make another obby section here, as I said. A few more traps. I'm going to probably aim for 16 traps if I do continue working. I mean, I probably will, but there's, you know, you never know. I mean, Game Stonks was really terrible when that came out, but it's like, after a while, after a few versions, I sort of managed to make it look a bit nicer. See, when you've got obby sections, you don't actually need as many traps, because a lot of people will die in them. Now, I know there's... And honestly, this boulder section, people are going to die. And whether I have another dynamic object in the next smaller obby section, I don't know. But I think I'm going to aim for 16. That'll be it. Minigames, I don't know. This probably has more of a chance of getting made. I've said earlier, I think this is more of a chance of being made than Blockbuster, although I'd like to finish both, just because I spent a load of time making the custom textures, and I'll have to make some more. Since you guys probably noticed the coronavirus map, I'll show you anyway. DR Subway, that's another one I started working on years ago. You can see 2016. It's the last time that got edited. But I think the concept for that would work better as a zombie escape map. So let me go on to coronavirus. So it was gonna be set in the using the like the King of the Hill Kong, King Kong map assets. It's supposed to be in China, but well, it was going to be a collab map with someone else, but it was just a bit. We weren't really sure what to do, and I guess it was a bit in bad taste. So we just kind of left it, and it's a bit late to really do it now, so I'm just leaving that as it is. I tell you what, I'll show you guys Subway. I don't know. See, it's not even like... I don't know. I have no idea what I was even doing here. finally, I wasn't really going to bother showing this, but there was a map called Scrub Run, which was just, this was never finished, but you can see it was kind of like, it was going to be an MLG map, but that's kind of long gone. It's now in the bin in the Death Experiments Discord, but I don't think anyone's going to bother taking it on. The thing is, the proportions aren't really right, and then there was this thing here which doesn't even work properly, like the John Cena trap. It was like a wrestling ring. If you go in, it pushes you up, and yeah, I think I was what's the word? I was really going a bit too over the top with the traps, and while that's not necessarily a bad thing, it does slow you down. And when the idea isn't that great to begin with, it's like you just can't really be bothered. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say in this video. So if you have anything you want to tell me, put it in the comments, and I do read all the comments. And yeah.